Hello, StubTube. Oh god, I said it. Anyways, Happy New Year. Welcome back to the channel. Stubin here, and today I'm going to take a look at a Mewtwo V-Union Arceus deck. But before we start, the whole StubTube thing was something put on to me from the last recording of the Gust of Wind podcast, which will be available later this week here on YouTube. We recorded it over on Twitch since our guest was a more Twitch-focused person in general, so it just made more sense to stream our real live recording on Twitch. So if you want to know the context of why I said StubTube, head over to Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, or just wait a couple days until it shows up here on the channel for the podcast, and then listen through and you'll understand why. But anyways, yeah, we're going to take a look at a Mewtwo V-Union deck today. As promised a while back, the holidays have been kind of busy for me, so hopefully we can get back in the swing of things and start producing more stuff for you on the regular basis once again. And, I hope you guys had a great New Year, great Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, whatever you do. Hope you had a great holiday season, and hope 2023 is everything you want it to be. Just live your life to your fullest and do as much as you can for yourself. And, if you're ever in a slump or need help or just want to talk, hit me up. If you're in the Discord, it's a lot easier, but I'm always here for you guys. So just let me know if there's anything I can ever do to help you in any shape or form. But yeah, without further ado, let's just dive into this deck list. We are rocking Mewtwo V-Union, and this thing is a massive 4-piece. If you haven't seen a V-Union before, you have to get all 4 pieces into the discard pile to be able to put it onto your bench. So each piece has different things here. The first piece has Union Gain. Attach the 2 Psychic Energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. The second one here has Super Regeneration for 2 Psychic and a Colorless. You can heal 200 damage from this Pokemon. Pretty good. The third piece here, the big leg, Size Explosion for 2 Psychic and a Colorless. Put 16 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So it's like Sableye plus 4. Without having to get to the Lost Zone, count of 10. And the other piece in the tail of the leg here, with 2 things, we have the ability Photon Barrier, prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So it basically has Parasol or Wash Energy built into it, as long as the abilities are alive. And Final Burn for 3 Psychic and 1 Colorless to do 300 damage. Slap a Choice Spot on that thing, and you're pretty much knocking out almost anything in the game. You are weak to Dark, resistant to Fighting, have a retreat cost of 2. And once it's knocked out, it can't come back into play. You can only have 1 V-Union in and out of the game at one time. But 310 HP on this thing, 3 prize Pokemon, absolute freaking unit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything and still keep this in frame over here. So we'll try our best with that. But yeah, we're going to play one of each Mewtwo V-Union. And because I'm, assembling the Avengers over here, I just threw part of the deck. But let's continue on. We're rocking Arceus V-Star. To get this thing loaded up, we are playing a 4-3 line. We'll start with the V, 220 HP with the attack Trinity Charge for 2 colorless. Switch deck for 3 basic energy cards attached to your Pokemon V in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So you're going to load up another Arceus, and or if you get the Mewtwo out fast enough, you're going to load up the Mewtwo, and you have Power Edge for 3 colorless to do 130 damage. So yeah, we're playing 4 Arceus and 3 of the V-Star. 280 HP with Trinity Nova for 3 colorless for 200 damage. 180 if you have a double turbo, so consider you do less. Search your deck for the 3 basic energy cards, just like Trinity Charge, but you're doing damage this time. And the broken V-Star Power Starbirth, just search your deck for any 2 cards you need. So whatever you need to do to get the Mewtwo V-Union into the bin, or whatever you're missing for your combos or your setup, Starbirth is going to be able to grab those for you. Alright, and rocking and rolling a little bit further here. In terms of Pokemon, only a couple more. We'll start off with 2 copies of Yveltal from Celebrations, 120 HP. Main attack that you're going to use here is Cry of Destruction. Discard up to 3 special energy from your opponent's Pokemon. This is really good against Lugia, Mew, and anything just rocking a lot of special energy. It's just like a stall card to help you build time until you can get the Mewtwo out and just start kind of taking over the game that way. You're never going to use Dark Feather. Has a retreat cost of 2, which is a little unfortunate, but we do play other ways around everything there. Then we've got one copy of Radiant Gardevoir, 130 HP with the ability Loving Veil. All your Pokemon take 20 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon V. Effectively, Mewtwo V-Union, if it's getting attacked by a Pokemon V, will now have 330 HP. And you have a Psychic attack on here, which you can do for 1 Psychic and 2 colors. It is 70 damage plus 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it can scale up, and it's a good single prizer. So it can get through some of the dumb things like Miltank if needed. And the last Pokemon on the list is a copy of Oranguru for the Primate Wisdom ability. Swap a card from your hand to the top of the deck. Just kind of get the pieces in the right place. And technically, if you really want to, you can attack with Whap down for 70, but probably not optimal. Alright, resuming along supporters, 4 copies of Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. You've seen it 1,000 times. You're going to see it 1,000 more. We've got 2 copies of Serena, a new addition for Mewtwo V-Union since Silver Tempest. You get 1 of 2 effects. You can either discard up to 3 cards from your hand and draw until you have 5, or you can gust up a Pokemon V, so it's effectively more copies of Boss's Orders in certain matchups. And we're going to play only 1 copy of Boss in this list, just because we have access to Psy-Explosion with Mewtwo to be able to just place counters. They don't have to be in the active position to do that. Next, we've got 2 copies of Peonia, and this is going to let you pick up 3 prize cards and look at them, and then they go into your hand basically, and you can swap cards from your hand or those prize cards back down. So you pick up 3 prize cards, put them into your hand, and then pick and choose what you want and put the other ones back down. This kind of helps you map out your prizing in case you piece one of these into the prizes, and you want to be able to get it out so you can set it up effectively. So yeah, we're playing 2 copies of Peonia to make sure you can get the Mewtwo V-Union pieces out of the prize cards. Alright, then we've got a single copy of Marnie. Shuffle hands, put them on the bottom of the deck. Your opponent gets 4, you get 5. Pretty straightforward. Again, I've said it with research, you've seen it 1,000 times. You'll see it 1,000 more until it rotates in April. Then we've got 1 copy of Adventures Discovery. This lets you search for 3 Pokemon V and put them into your hand. So in this case, all of the pieces of the V-Union technically count as Pokemon V, so you are able to grab those with Adventures Discovery, as well as your Arceus V, V-Star, so on and so forth. So like, if you go first, you get an Arceus down, you get your Oranguru down. Your next turn, you can play Adventure Discovery, grab your V-Star, grab 2 pieces, pop your Starbirth, grab 2 cards, grab an Ultra Ball, discard 2 of the Mewtwo V-Union pieces, and just really kind of just start moving the deck along that way. And the last supporter is a copy of Sharon's Care. Put one of your colorless Pokemon that has any damage counters on it, and all cards attached to it into your hand. So in this case, Arceus V-Star. Or, in weird situations, you can actually just pick up a Oranguru and put it back into your hand, and then promote wherever you need to go. Continuing, we have our items, of course. We've got 4 copies of Quick Ball. Discard a card from your hand, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, and put it into your hand. You cannot, with Quick Ball, you cannot search for the Mewtwo V-Union pieces, so keep that in mind, but you can grab the Arceus or any of these. And these are also really good just to discard the Mewtwo V-Union pieces. And then we've got 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and of course discard 2, search your deck for Pokemon with Ultra Ball. Because it just says a Pokemon, you can technically get the pieces of Mewtwo V-Union into your hand that way. Now we've got 4 copies of Trekking Shoes. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card into your hand. If you don't, you can discard it. So this is going to combo really well with Oranguru. And we do play a Stadium here, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Or not even a few minutes. Probably less than 2 minutes is my guess. Let's time me. Let me know down in the comments if I was close. But yeah, just really good combo piece to help you get more Mewtwo or energy into the discard pile. And in order to recover things, we have 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, since we play these one-ofs here, and, you know, slim pickings on the pieces of Arceus. We have 2 copies of Ordinary Rod to just reload the deck full of your energy and or get your, like, key tech Pokemon back into play. We then have 2 copies of Big Charm to increase HP of all of our Pokemon by 30 if it's attached to it. So effectively, between Radiant Gardevoir and Big Charm, you get 50 extra HP on things like Mewtwo V-Union or Arceus V-Star, making them really tanky pieces. Continuing, we have 2 copies of Lost Vacuum. Put a card from your hand to your Lost Zone and Lost Zone either a tool card or a Stadium. This will help get rid of Path to the Peak or other opposing Big Charms or Choice Belts or whatever you see fit that you need to deal with. The last item on the docket is, of course, a single copy of Scoop Up Net, and this is just going to work for the 4 of these Pokemon here, Yveltal, Radiant Gardevoir, and Oranguru. A really good combo piece, again, to be able to, like, oh, I'm going to Primate Wisdom, put a card on top. Will Trekking Shoes get rid of it? Oh, I found another Trekking Shoes. We can scoop up and do it again and get rid of a Mewtwo piece. So, you know, this has potential, and it's a good pivot as well for these Pokemon here. And for stadiums, we're just playing a single copy of Primordial Altar. Once during either player's turn, they may look at the top card of their deck. They may discard that card. So this is a good piece to play like before Trekking Shoes to know, hey, do I want to discard that top card, or do I even want to play this? Is it worth forcing it into? You can alter before you play Research or before you Serena, or you can Primate Wisdom, a Mewtwo piece on top of the deck, and then alter and discard it to feel a little bit more secure there. So it's just another way to get discarded Mewtwo pieces or combos correctly set up. And finally, the energy counts. We are playing 4 copies of Double Turbo, so this will help you fulfill Arceus' attack costs a little bit quicker, and technically you can use it with these 4 Pokemon here. And in addition to that, really good to be able to just like attach energy turn 1 and then Starbirth turn 2, grab Double Turbo, whenever else you're missing to start using Trinity Nova, getting some damage on board, and then getting energy attached. We also have 2 copies of V-Guard. Take 30 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon V. So again, creating these giant tanky Pokemon, combination of Radiant Gardevoir, V-Guard energy, and a Big Charm, effectively giving your Pokemon an extra 80 HP. Feels insane to think about. And then last but not least, we have 7 copies of basic Psychic Energy to load up from Arceus' attacks onto Mewtwo, or to fill the attack costs. Or you can even technically Union Gain the pieces on, and the next turn Super Rejuvenation, and just start healing yourself and dwindling your opponent down out of their resources until it's the correct time to Psy-Splosion or Final Burn for the game. But this is the list. It's been a lot of fun to play this. Got to play a couple games at locals with it, and it feels really strong, really powerful if you want to be able to play a V-Union and not play necessarily a control list. If you want to play a more aggressive list, this is definitely more easy to play Mewtwo V-Union compared to, say, like a Sander Wojcik control list where it's in there. You've got the best of both worlds with like the Yveltal control style and the vacuums and the Peonias to grab your pieces, and just Arceus to wail on your opponent early on and get everything you need. But that is the list. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And of course, if you made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. You can also become a member to support tiers as low as 99 cents. Get yourself some emotes for the live streams. I'm going to plan on doing more and more live streams in the coming weeks and or months. The whole year, I'm going to try and do a little bit more, maybe at least once a week. Aiming for Thursdays so far seems to be the play. But yeah, that's it. Again, I hope you all have a great new year, had a great holiday season. And yeah, stay tuned for more content. So smash that like button, ring that notification bell right beside the subscribe button. What's the slang term? Turn that box red to gray or whatever. I don't know, but that's it. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll see you guys in the next video.